Hi friends, this is E the Empty Nester. Today I saw a post on Facebook and it took me to this link that antidepressant microbes in soil, how dirt makes you happy. It's comparing scientific data and dirt that they use the term microbacterium vacca, or I'm not sure how to say it, actually stimulates the serotonin in your brain to make you happy and combat depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, bipolar, the list goes on. But took the word and searched it, and then when you go to Wikipedia, it seems to be true. It says scientists who believe that exposure to microbacterium vaccine may work as an antidepressant because it stimulates the generation of serotonin and neuro. Sorry, I'm not good with big words. Blah blah blah. But it does make sense. I normally don't share a lot of personal information about myself, but the more I thought about it, the more that post or the information shared there, it really makes sense because, back in 2005, I was in a car accident and, hitting the back of the head and the top of the head a few times, and everything went a little bit crazy. And then I started losing the ability to spell. I was doing genealogy and I used the word Illinois a lot, and I couldn't even figure out how to spell Illinois. I had to start looking it up. And then things like using my hands started, having some issues. I couldn't even turn a screw. I went to install an electrical outlet on the outside by the garage at our old house, and I tried and tried and tried and could not turn the screw to, tighten down the wire on the plug, and had to get my husband to do it. And then when we moved in here, before it was finished in 2006, I started to put some screws in the floor and, missed the screw and went down and put the drill right into my hand, with the screw bit on it. And from there on, it's like I left my garden in St. Louis with thousands of plants that, I'd put in the ground, and I had tons of mulch delivered for free. And, I just let depression get a hold of me and ended up on Lexapro for 5 years. And then started, reprogramming myself to think happy, be happy, and October makes 3 years of being free of antidepressants. And a friend of mine that blogs, back in 2009, she would put up posts where in Canada, with all the snow on the ground, she would have tulips blooming in her window. And that really took away the winter blues. And then this year with the winter garden, I can say, working with the soil, or this isn't even real soil. The first time when I got the cocoa core, added water to it and ran my fingers into it, it was like instant wow. But just doing it like this without the water, it's not quite as exciting. As soon as you add some dampness to it and moisture, I think water has something to do with it. When you mix the water into the soil, it starts feeling like real dirt. So it's kind of like a placebo effect where whatever the microbes they're talking about that's in the soil may not be in this soil. Adding the water may be, the ingredient for the microbe, because it definitely makes you happy, just letting this run through your fingers. But I decided to try a little bit of, that was cocoa core. This right here in this bucket is Happy Frog, and it's a mixture of a lot of ingredients, and then I've got a good amount of cocoa core in here. And when you put your hand in here, it's like almost like real soil, and there's a smell. You can smell some earthiness because there's, like bat guano and all kinds of, ingredients in here. You'll have to look up the list. This was like $18 for 1.5 or 2 cubic feet bags. But when you're getting a smell and a feel from it. And serotonin is, once you start taking the antidepressant, exactly the one I took was, what was it, Lexapro. They don't call it withdrawal. They call it quitting syndrome. I had to cut that drug down to half a pill, and then down and down and down. It took probably 5 months to be able to stop taking it, and I would have side effects where I would feel like a spark shoot through my brain and out the other side. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a side effect. And you would get dizzy and not be able to walk straight. And what it is your body is used to the chemical serotonin, and you can't, your body starts rejecting your own serotonin. The feeling you get from eating a chocolate bar, it's like, that's serotonin. Or after you have turkey dinner for Thanksgiving, and that's a serotonin release also, and makes you so content you want to go to sleep for some people. But what do you call it? I would say this Happy Frog and core feels really good. I've also noticed from watching my own videos that even though I mentally think I feel better, I can see it in myself that I'm not fully, body-wise expressing smiles and happiness. But when I grow something, it's like suddenly the smile, comes on my face, and you can see the reaction. This is the potting mix Fairy Morris that's supposed to be straight up peat and vermiculite and perlite and some kind of wet ingredient. But from my other video from planting the potato seeds, it was kind of repelling water, and we'll put some water in here. It feels soft, but it's actually repelling the water instead of soaking it up. And then it's cold, and it sticks to your fingers. And it's like, if you judge the potting soil just from feel and taste, it's not really, it has a little bit of an earthy smell. And then it's like clumps. It's not sandy. It's not exciting, I'm starting to question all these seed starter mix, especially this one. I'm seriously unhappy with this one right here. It claims, again, eco-friendly organic seed starting mix. When you come down here and read the ingredients, it says California, Georgia, and all other states. This product is formulated from a 95% cocoa core, perlite, and fertilizer. See right. When you go over to the right, it says all the levels, 0.06%, blah, blah, blah. Derived from aerobically composted poultry manure. Ding, 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 ding. if it's commercial poultry manure, sure, this is an organic matter. But if it comes from a commercial poultry farm, it's got genetically modified feed going into the birds, so you're composting genetically modified chicken poop, and then the next ingredient, it says hydrolyzed feather meal and sulfated potash. Feather meal is where they grind up the feathers, from the chicken. And if the chicken is genetically modified and it's in its genes, especially a Cornish cross that's bred for meat, and how can they? All these legalities, sure, it's organic matter, but where do you cross the line as an organic and GMO go together? Sorry, I didn't mean to make this a rant, but it really concerns me that I can't, that's part of depression. When you get angry, when you are fooled, this right here took away all my happy. And my broccoli up there ended up having dampening off syndrome from this, because a seed starting mix is supposed to be soilless, sterile, and this is adding a form of fertilizer to it. And the fertilizer, I'm not saying this is commercially GMO stuff, but as soon as I hear chicken and feather, I think of factory chickens. Where else are they going to get quantity? They could have an organic farmer. I don't know. Don't mean to hurt them. All I would like to do is, I guess I should call them. But when you look at this mix, let me bring it over. Everything keeps changing. This is kind of, it don't even have the cocoa core feel. It's not soft and fluffy. And then look at all the water, and this is retaining the water. And this runs through your fingers like sand, and this, does stick to your hands like mud, or should I say poop, It's kind of disappointing. But again, I hope the burpee doesn't come after me for being upset that this has chicken poop in it, when seed starter is supposed to be sterile. Chicken poop is not sterile, and so sorry about the rant, added to it, but this is supposed to be a happy post, and working in the garden does make you happy, and run your hands through the soil does make you happy, and I just wish the cocoa core would not dry out at the top when the humidity is low. This is not quite perfect, but the peat moss and vermiculite, or what do you call that? Perlite, vermiculite, and peat moss is a good seed starter mix. And it's like I'm looking for my placebo effect here. Who feels better? Fairy Mars or burpee? But I'm gonna have to, look and see if I can find a couple other brands that are supposed to be organic and see how they feel. And then wood products. Here is a stick. But I think I'll go back to, feeling the cocoa core. The cocoa core with a little bit of water. It really does feel good. It's like a kid playing in dirt, But Saturday I added some of my, history and rant. And the important thing is, with depression, for some people it is a chemical imbalance, but it could be for a chemical imbalance for everyone. But before you get on antidepressants, try to work it out yourself and find out what it is that you're sad about, because no amount of pills can take away the sad. You have to work on the problem itself and take away the problem, and then everything will be fine. Once you figure out how to deal with it. And things aren't a problem unless you label them a problem, and find out if, it's actually your problem or someone else's. Because if you give it enough time, it'll go away and things will be better, It's like, am I a kid in the candy store with the dirt? Happy Frog is some happy stuff. But again, this is potting soil. It's not seed starter, because of all the not fertilizer, but the rich ingredients. The, bat guano, and, the list goes on, This is definitely, microbial. And I know you want to sit here and watch me play in the dirt. But go get your own bags of dirt and feel them. And another thing too about winter, the lack of sunlight, the lights, OTT lights, they're plant bulbs. We've got a store here, a new hardware store called Menards, and they were only $5, and they're like 5,500 Kelvin and really high looms. And I put a bulb up in the ceiling there, and if you can get higher Kelvin bulbs to stimulate light in your house, it takes away the winter blues too. There's so many things, and then seeing the baby, the sprout come up, it's like my tomatoes sprouted yesterday. This had a little bit of real, garden fun to this. Okay. Let me see if, look, I've got baby tomatoes. Isn't that exciting? Just the thought of life, the thought of spring, brings happiness back into all of us. Spring is pretty much my favorite time of year. But I guess I'll close for now, and I hope you enjoyed my video. I didn't mean it to be a rant, but everything affects your ups and downs, as in, happy garden, happy life. Y'all have a happy day.